investigation. The Lowndes County Sheriff's Office has released its exhaustive, in-depth report of a high-speed crash involving a Columbus police officer.
What's up?
You're on scene, correct?
Oh, I'll tell you what's up. More stuff in Ohio, huh? Columbus, Ohio. Just check this out. Police officer wipes out, wrecks this car. I think maybe he's fired now, I don't know. Reprimanded. Right, it's an older story by the time they let out the truth to us. It's already a year or two old, right? I think it's about a year old now or something like that. Several months. Columbus, Ohio. Once again, another officer that's been reprimanded several times before. Driving recklessly, wrecks his car, wrecks into another person, innocent person, right? Breaking the law to do so, thinks he's above the law. You know, he starts whining as a wimp when he does the damage, but doesn't give a shit the danger he was causing, right? Maybe I'm seeing this wrong, maybe I'm not. Let's take a look.
This is just part of that report. We want to warn you, though, the police body cam video that we're about to show you is raw, it is graphic, and intense. This is video from Patrol Officer Jeremy Harris's body camera. Captures the moment when Officer Harris hit a utility pole and flipped his police cruiser, traveling at speeds approaching 80 miles an hour. This happened July 16th in the heart of the city when Officer Harris was responding to a call for help at the jail. Officer Harris was hurt. So was the driver and the passenger in another car who happened to be at the intersection at the time of that fateful and violent collision. Officer Harris initially told investigators the driver of the other car pulled out in front of him and blamed that civilian for the crash. But WTVA 9 News has learned investigators have revised the report and now say that wasn't what happened. Wednesday, July 16th, 2025, just before noon.
We're coming. 20 seconds hours.
That was the moment when the lives of a Columbus police officer and a civilian driver were turned upside down. Columbus Patrol Officer Jeremy Harris was responding to a call for help at the Lowndes County Jail. Harris was running code, which means his lights and sirens were blaring when he lost control of his cruiser while crossing the railroad tracks at the intersection of 22nd Street South and College Street.
Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath.
Officer Harris hit a driver who was stopped at that intersection, ran into a utility pole, and then flipped his cruiser. The Lowndes County Sheriff's Office was called to investigate.
Now, as I said, that's here in Columbus, Ohio. About 3 hours, 4 hours from me. But this is just an example of what I'm going to get at, right?
926, you're on scene, correct?
Harris told investigators the car that was stopped at the intersection pulled out in front of him. He blamed that driver for the collision. Witnesses also initially told detectives the other driver failed to yield. But sheriff's investigators later determined Officer Harris was at fault. The investigation also indicated Officer Harris was driving at speeds of up to 78 miles an hour
at the time of the crash. The accident report and police narrative in the sheriff's office's 365-page report states Officer Harris's cruiser left its lane of travel and hit the other car. According to sheriff's detectives, Officer Harris caused the crash because he was driving too fast. The investigation also determined Officer Harris was not wearing his seatbelt at the time of the collision.
Calm down. Take your time, man. Take your time. Take your time.
Officer Harris was then sent to Baptist Memorial Hospital for a drug screening. But the Sheriff's Department's report states Columbus police canceled the drug screening and told hospital staff police would do the test at the jail rather than at the ER.
They basically they shot out in front of me. I guess they thought they was gonna beat me. Yeah.
The city of Columbus responded, claiming the ER staff member who typically collected urine samples for testing had passed away, and the staff was confused about what to do. The city says the police department did not tell the hospital staff not to collect a urine sample. The city also stated the police department ordered Officer Harris to take a drug test when they discovered the failure. WTVA 9 News has also learned Jeremy Harris was charged with DUI first and speeding in a Mississippi Highway Patrol investigation in June 2024. Harris's sentence in that case was non-adjudicated, meaning there was no conviction. Meanwhile, we asked the city of Columbus to comment on the Sheriff's Department's 365-page report. We wanted to know if Harris had been disciplined or if Harris was still employed as a police officer. We also wanted to know if the city was aware of Harris's DUI and speeding charges last summer and if Harris was employed as a police officer at the time of his arrest.
Is it because he's a cop? Whatever. The point is, he had no problem lying and blaming the innocent people, no matter what damage was done to them or even if a life would have been taken. I don't want to confuse two stories. We'll stay on this one, right? So, blames the other people, outright lying. Well, now it comes out, well, it didn't come out because the system protected the people. It didn't come out because they had a change of heart. It came out because the innocent people had to fight for how long while going through this and while being blamed. They had to fight through it. And you know, that's a sad story, sad state of affairs, right? What do you make of that? Well, our tax dollars shouldn't be supporting that kind of shit, right? We shouldn't be putting up with that. I thought this was America. We don't have to put up with that, but we do, and we will continue to. But let's get more down into the heart of the matter. These are the kind of people that the government hires purposely, right? Liars and people with bad moral standards and stuff like that. Otherwise, they wouldn't be busting the Constitution all the time or putting public in danger when they're on public people's time, right? But more than that, right? Is he a liar because he's a cop? Is he a cop because he's a liar, right? More than likely, he's that kind of person, so that's why he became a cop. From what I'm seeing, anywhere around us, right? When I see, can I say all cops are bad? I don't want to say that, right? But I mean, when I see an example of a good one, I'll show it, right? But the point is, it's more than that. It's us as people all together, right? And I don't want to be taken wrong. I'm not trying to act like I'm holier than thou. But you know what? I've chosen a righteous path lately, and for a while now, and it's a hard road, okay? But anyone can do it, right? Do we choose to do it? And I'm not saying I'm the only one, or I'm so, nothing like that. But just who are we as a whole? This guy is just one more filthy excuse of a human who can't stop being a filthy, lying asshole, right? That's what it boils down to. He's a liar, right? that has no regard for how his lies or actions affect other people. That's my takeaway from that. Otherwise, Whiskey and I's pondering these things, trying to change subjects up a little bit. We're bouncing around a little bit. It depends when this gets out there, right? Just more examples of people, though, right? And it sucks because, like I said, I'm not trying to act like I'm holier than thou. But it's a choice I make, right? To do the right thing and try to choose the path of righteousness. And it's because, I know people personally quite well that once upon a time I would think they're a shoo-in for heaven and I'm not, right? And I see things and I understand that they don't understand God at all. And some of these people know me so much to know that I have seen it, right? I don't like to talk about it, shit like that, whatever. I brought it up before, but I have seen it. It's verified to me what, there's things that are in the Bible that I knew before it was taught to me, before I learned it, right? Because I grew up with, I don't want to get too far, but I grew up with the Catholic background, the Catholic teaching, and there's a lot of stuff that's in the Bible they avoid, whatever, that I understood beforehand that they weren't teaching, right? Because I understood this. I always had that connection because I understood it from way back. Point is, so I make that choice, right? Because I know what happens after this. So I make that choice. And it's not easy. And it's hard, and there's always temptations. There's always shit you gotta battle. There's always stuff the devil's thrown in your path, right? But who are we as people? And I'm finding out more and more. I mean, for those who want to say there's good people, I mean, the Bible says otherwise, right? Our hearts are evil. And man's heart is evil. And I've seen it proven time and time again. For those who haven't or don't want to believe that, more power to you. I'm not... Prayers to you that you never have to understand it this way, right? Just like we got this stuff going on with, while we're on the subject of law enforcement, Trump with this whole bringing federal police out into the city. Well, Washington, D.C., technically, he's got every right and power to do that. Washington, D.C. is technically federal, period, right? The rest of us, these cities, are not. So he needs to think again. And people that they're disguising what all this is. And they give you a few pictures acting like they're taking care of this and that and he's gaining all this support. No, they're eliminating the homeless. Let's see it for what it is and quit playing games. Whatever. I'm just here to call a spade, okay? This is their goal, to get rid of the homeless. More than that, they're doing more than that. And for those that want to shrug, I got an issue with it. I sure as hell got an issue with it, right? And those who want to shrug a shoulder at it, by this time tomorrow, you yourself could be one of those homeless people, right? You don't understand how easy it is. Many people don't, right? That they'll just come in and ruin your life because they feel like it, or whatever reason, right? And now you're stuck in this situation. And then, so how are you going to feel when they start mobilizing in other cities, right? This is just to prep you right now. And furthermore, I wouldn't doubt if it's for more reason than this, right? But they've already made it clear they're getting rid of homeless people. You can take that for what it is or make excuses for them if you want, whatever. When I say them, I mean every one of those dirty bastards that should already be removed. All of them on both sides. I made myself clear on that maybe if the videos have been up yet, right? Because, you know, the true colors have shown too late. None of us get these kinds of chances. These people walk for sick, filthy crimes, and they are also the major responsibility for turning our world into this disgusting dumpster with filthy people the way it is. They're 100% behind directing it to go that way.
Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for that is the whole duty of man.